Hello, everyone. Welcome to Megan Reads. That's my channel. I'm Megan, and I am going to read you a book. This channel is a channel where I read public domain books. I started with The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and now I'm moving on to The Marvelous Land of Oz, which is the sequel to The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. So if you haven't read that, you might be okay here if you know the story, but it is a very fun book and things are different than they are if you've seen Wicked, or obviously because Wicked is kind of a parody of this, but also, or a fan fiction of that, but additionally, if you've seen the original movie, it's different than that as well. So if you would like to listen to that, the playlist will be linked at the end of this video, where I'm going to read actually the inner cover because it's funny and has extra to the title, and then the author's note and the dedication. If you would like to get updates on when I upload videos, I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And today I'm going to upload both this video and chapter 1 of this book so that we can kind of get started. But yeah, if you haven't listened to The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, go do that and then come back. So without further ado, I am going to, start reading. So this is the inner cover. On screen now, you'll see the outer cover because I took a screenshot of it. But the inner cover says, "The Marvelous Land of Oz, being an account of the further adventures of the Scarecrow and Tin Woodman, and also the strange experiences of the highly magnified Wogglebug, Jack Pumpkinhead, the animated Sawhorse, and the Gump. The story being a sequel to The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum." Next, I'm going to read the author's note and a dedication. The dedication is actually to the actors who played the Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman in the original Broadway production of The Wizard of Oz that premiered in 1903. So he would have seen that. So that's kind of fun. So, all right. So the author's note says, "After the publication of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, I began to receive letters from children telling me of their pleasure in reading the story and asking me to write something more about the Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman. At first, I considered these little letters, frank and earnest though they were, in the light of pretty compliments, but the letters continued to come during succeeding months and even years. Finally, I promised one little girl, who made a long journey to see me and prefer her request, and she is a Dorothy, by the way, that when 1,000 little girls had written me 1,000 little letters asking for the Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman, I would write the book. Either little Dorothy was a fairy in disguise and waved her magic wand, or the success of the stage production of The Wizard of Oz made new friends for the story. For the 1,000 letters reached their destination long since, and many more followed them. And now, although pleading guilty to long delay, I have kept my promise in this book." L. Frank Baum, Chicago, June 1904. To those excellent good fellows and comedians, David C. Montgomery and Frank A. Stone, whose clever personations of the Tin Woodman and the Scarecrow have delighted thousands of children throughout the land, this book is gratefully dedicated by the author. So if you click on to the next video, I'm going to start the story. Additionally, I said this in my outro for The Wizard of Oz, but just so that you know, I don't do intros or outros on the chapters because it ruins the listening experience if you're going to listen to it on the playlist. So yeah, that is it. Happy listening.